Life is a highway, I'll ride it all night long. Hey, give me a second. Let me cut up this battle belt. We'll test fit it. Today we'll be taking a look at the Core Essentials battle belt. All right, before we get into the belt, I think the question needs to be asked, who is Core Essentials? Who are Core Essentials? I don't know. I'm not a grammar guy. In 2013, Core set out to redefine men's accessories, starting with the belt. Their goal was to blend innovation and exceptional materials and make distinctive designs that can benefit the end user. So Core looked at the traditional belt that has a hole set every inch for sizing, and they asked a question that a lot of us have asked if you've ever worn one of those belts. What if my waist size falls in between two holes? And seriously, for those of you that laughed, get your head out of the gutter. 2 holes? And so Core decided that a micro ratcheting system would work best. You can cut your belt to the appropriate length, and then the ratchet makes up the difference. Hey, you've been doing good on your sugar intake? Ratchet it in a couple notches. You've had 7 servings of turkey at family's Thanksgiving dinner. Hey, loosen that bad boy up and get comfortable. So Core then took that idea and placed it in a battle belt. The benefit this brings is fantastic. So right now, if you go out and you buy pretty much any other battle belt, you have to measure your waist first beforehand. Make sure that you order the right one. Well, what if you're at the high end of the medium belt and the low end of the large belt? So you go with one and it's too big, or you go with another one and it's too small. With this, you don't have to worry about that. One belt fits a wide range of folks. Seriously, if your waist size is between 24 or 48 inches, you just have to buy this belt. And if you're outside of that waist size range, well, add calories or reduce calories until you're within that range. So let's get on the bench and see what comes with this kit. So this is what comes with it. You got a belt keeper, you got a little attachment that you would put on the end of your inner belt after you cut it. You got your instructional information, the battle belt actual buckle and the ratcheting system, some hardware for this buckle, and then a tape measure to help you cut it to the appropriate length. The outer belt is constructed of this nylon webbing with these 2 rows of moly on either side. Core says this belt has a, quote, super fiber inner lining and proprietary reinforced power core center. Basically, this is a well-built belt that is designed to last you a long time. Don't worry about seeing this build a belt setup. This is super easy. We're going to go through it together. All right, we are going to start with the outer belt. So you line the end of this measuring tape tool up with the tip of the battle belt, and then you cut it at your appropriate size. So I'm kind of holding the tape measure in place. I want to show you guys. So I wear a 36-inch pant. That's my waist size, and that's what it says to cut it at. All right, so let's do that. Now understand that Core does not take any returns on cut belts. So measure twice, cut once, and please cut on the end opposite the side of the ratcheting teeth. All right, belt is cut. Singe some of this stuff down so that way it's not fraying on me. All right, so the inner belt is next. Very similar to the battle belt, the outer belt. The difference is the instructions say to cut this 1 inch, subtract 1 inch from your pant size. So I wear a 36. I'm going to cut this at 35. All right, inner belt is cut. Same thing. Singe all these little frays off. All right, so the next step after cutting the belts is to get the buckle on. So when you do this, you want to make sure that the moly segments that you cut off, because they could just be loose, make sure they make it into that buckle. All right, it's seated as far as it can go. All right, clamp this down. And then we're going to screw these 2 screws down. Just don't over tighten it. The instructions are very clear about that. I would say if that is getting kind of tight, you get it to the point where it's at least going to be below this part of the buckle. Okay. After everything is cut, you size it. These fit okay. I might take off maybe a 1/2 inch on the outer belt, but it works for me. So after you size it to yourself, you take the inner belt, and there's this metal clasp you're going to put over that, and what I'll do off camera is I'm going to hammer that down to make sure that that doesn't come apart. All right, now that they're cut, let's try them on. For the inner belt, you need to ensure the hex section is above your zipper, and you'll see why later. And no, it's not for those reasons, Harry, you pervert. So I got a piece of the leftover outer belt here, and the inside of it is the hook portion of hook and loop. Not your traditional Velcro, but that new kind of short hooks on it. So I guess technically this would attach into any of your standard loop inner belts that you may like, but it really wouldn't work as advertised because of the ratcheting system. You really need the core inner belt to fully utilize it. Don't worry though, this isn't some gear marketing scheme where they're gonna try to sell you on another belt. It comes in the kit if you buy the kit. All right, see if I can get some of this tactical girth out of the way. So you see the hex portion here. It's kind of stretched tight, which is how I want it to be. Honestly, it could be a little tighter. Core recommends that none of the inner belt is behind the hex, which I have maybe about 1 inch or so that I could cut off. But the nice thing about this, you know, this inner belt isn't really making my pants super tight on me, but it's attached. I start routing this, and as I tighten my outer belt, it tightens my pants. So now I'm in an even better spot on my pants, right? Now Core, I think they want this. I think I actually have this installed not according to their documentation. This belt buckle, this entire belt should be flipped around, where right now I'm inserting this from my right side in, and I think they want it inserted from the left side in. But I like it like this because it makes it easy to take my UBL on and off this belt. If it was the other way around, I'd have to route my UBL all the way around the belt to this portion, or to this position. Doing it like this, everything else just attaches in the molly. This, if I wanted to take it off, I got to move it a foot instead of having to route it around the entire belt. So I really like that. Now I'm going to show sitting down and how that works with this belt. All right, so I'm going to have my belt as tight as I want to get it. All right, so I got a bar stool here I'm sitting down on. So you sit down. For me, that tactical girth is really hanging over that, pressing into the belt, but reach up here, I can loosen that up. Oh, so much more comfortable sitting down. And then go to stand up, tying it in, just those couple clicks. I'm ready to rock and roll. I am loving this belt. This thing is fantastic. This belt has a load rate of 20 pounds, which is plenty for us normal gearheads. And I think this is a really ingenious design here. I was playing around with it, and I had it connected into the buckle, but had it at really a very loose setting. So loose that I was able to slide my hand between the inner and the outer belt while it was still on me. But that outer belt wasn't coming off. I mean, you had to undo the ratcheting mechanism to get that all the way off. So I'm not saying that I recommend that, but I'm saying that it still stays pretty secure even if it's very loose on you. So even under strenuous activities, if the belt feels a little loose on you, hey, you just ratchet it up a notch or two. So again, I've said this before, I'm a fan of the Warrior Poet Society EDC belt. It's sturdy, it has a Velcro on the outside, so with a quick change of taking off my appendix carry, throwing on a battle belt, and then putting the gun in the holster that I have set up on my battle belt, I'm off to the races. And with this inner belt, I just didn't think that it was going to be an inner belt that I would wear as an EDC belt regularly. Fortunately for Walsh and I, we had a chance to go to SHOT Show, and Core had a booth set up. So I went and talked to them about this issue. And Core's coming out with a Gen 2 inner belt that they showed me at SHOT Show. The video footage that I took of it did not come out very good, so I can't really show it off, but I think it solves the problem that I was having with this inner belt. I talked to the Core guys about when that's going to be available. It's not available yet. So if you're interested in buying one of these belts and you're interested in having the inner belt as an EDC belt, I would say to wait until the March-April timeframe. That belt would be, the kit would be available with the heavier duty EDC belt as part of the kit. And I think with that heavier duty inner belt, I could see it replacing my Warrior Polo Society belt as my everyday carry belt. The convenience of having a belt that will stand up to the stress of carrying a gun daily, but then easily configure to be the inner belt in a battle belt system and a double belt system, is what makes the Warrior Polo Society belt so great, in my opinion. And I think this new version 2 of the inner belt is what's going to make this Core battle belt system go beyond what this already is. And I love it where it is right now. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this video adventure. I am a huge fan of this Core battle belt. It's going to become a regular belt that you'll see on the channel that I'm using. I think that if you are a law enforcement guy, a patrol guy that's going to be getting in and out of cars a lot, I think this belt's going to be great for that type of person. If you're going to be at the range a lot and you're going to be moving from sitting to standing positions or just moving around, I think you could really dial in those 1/4 inch increments, dial in your comfort. If you're not that guy, if you're going to be jumping out of helicopters and fast roping and jumping out of airplanes, hey, maybe this belt isn't for you, and that's okay. Your mission set's going to be different than my mission set. So for me and what I need, this belt's going to be perfect for me. I'd like to close by saying thanks to all our Patreons. We love you guys. We wouldn't be able to do these videos without you. And thanks to everyone that likes, comments, and subscribes. Comment down below and let me know if you're going to pick up this belt and how you would use it. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm going to cut this. I don't know why I keep saying cunt.